Well, go and chat. We just had a week close, so you know how we do it. Just come on here to share my weekly analysis with you guys. What I should be looking for next week, and also my trade setup. Maybe the one I had profit or loss last week. So yeah, just being transparent. I wasn't active last 2 weeks because I had no trade opportunity. So I'm sorry about that. I just let the chart run. I didn't see a good entry to risk on. So let's break the chart down and see what we'll be having this new week. This is the weekly time frame, and as you can see clearly, we are on the downtrend. So you can see the higher lows, higher high, higher lows, higher high. A week down to this place, then it's closed above here. But going down to the daily, it was a clear change of character or a clear break of structure. So we'll see that when we get there. This is the weekly. I can see a retest back to a zone right here. The buyers taking over there and the sellers took control. Now currently the sellers are reacting to the major buyers. That's the sell trend. So let's go down to the daily time frame. So I think this time frame is a bit more clearer. So starting from the daily, you can see this huge momentum to the upside. Then we saw the drop. We saw the swing high. We saw another swing low. And this is a swing high yet to give a swing low. So let's break it down gradually. From here, this is the swing high that we got, and there is a support zone there. So looking at this, we can see that okay, here was the resistance, the supply zone that held the buyers from breaking above this price 5,600, and from here we can see the sellers momentum to the downside, and we had a clear change of character right here. It's more visible on the 4 hours. So when we get there, you see very well. We had a clear change of character right here. You know, a change of character or a break of structure is only valid when the candlestick breaks the wick. So yeah, this is just a clear example of what I just said. So this is a change of character, and we had a retest, buyers trying to proving stubborn, trying to take over, but no, the sellers were still very active, and we saw a huge dump to the downside. So this is our new break of structure. Hold on. This is our new break of structure to the downside. So let me label this break of structure. And we had, I guess this was an external break of structure too, to the downside. Yes, because you can see the candle close below it. So this is valid that okay, from the swing highs to the swing lows, we should be seeing a good, this is the swing high, swing low. Now we got the retest right here, and we should be seeing a swing low down to the side. If gold really respects the trend I'm seeing, we should be seeing a swing low. So reading from the inner structure, we could see that okay, from this low, buyers took the market, was giving higher highs and higher lows. We got to this place, it gave us a high, gave us a low, gave us a higher high, now give us a lower low. That caused the change of structure. change of character. Yeah, then price retested. This was our last lower high that caused the immediate break of structure. So what do? You guys, like I said before, I trade only the fib level retracement. So placing my fib from the swing high to the swing low, I can see that price already tested the 61 fib level. I will just mark out the zone. Yeah. And we can see a push to the downside currently. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame and break down this whole move that we see here. This is the 4 hour time frame, and what can we see? Knowing that price is on a downtrend, all we have to do is just look for sell opportunity. This was the base. We got a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, then a huge buyer's pressure to the upside. We got a higher low, got higher high, higher low. This was an equal high, then a higher low before. Okay, we got another equal high, then a break below to the downside. We saw this retracement, but you can see that the sellers are very, very active, pushing the price down. So let's look for our internal break of structure and change of character. Okay, this wasn't a change of character on this gold. I think my other gold, there was a valid change of character right there. Well, this was a good change of break of structure to the upside, and since this was a break of structure, here was the last low that caused this break of structure. Here was the last low that caused that break of structure. Let me mark it out. And since this was the push to the upside, let me see if there was okay currently, then it's valid. All we can see is that there was a break of structure to the upside, then the sellers took over, brought the market down, and this was the immediate price reaction that caused this break of structure. So here should be my change of character on the 4 hours. Internal change of character. Don't forget, guys, this is a minor change of character. Then we got a break of structure right here to the downside. And since then we have been seeing series of lower lows and lower high. So let me take out this one, since you already understand the minor trend that is going on within the major trend. We saw buyer's reaction right here, then it broke this last lower high, giving us a change of structure, change of character rather, and we got a retest, but price couldn't break above. I took this buy. I think I made a post on that, a short video on that buy. You can go to my channel and check it out. I had that buy for myself, then the price sold to the downside, but yet the price couldn't give us a lower low. It gave us an equal low before we saw a huge buyer's momentum to the upside, giving us a break of structure, because we had a change of character right here already, and this was just a minor structure, because this is a double bottom, and we are seeing currently that price broke the last high without breaking down the low. So yeah, keep analyzing, this was a valid break of structure to the upside. Just like breaking my chart down, reading it like just reading it like a story makes me understand what I'm doing very well. So we got this break of structure right here. This was our change of character. This was an equal low. There was an equal high here, but you can see the recent buying pressure broke the high, changing this high to a break of structure. So what can we see here? We saw the high and a little retest, sharp retest, then higher high followed, higher low. Couldn't give us a high, give us a high here. Then the price came down, did as if it was ranging right here, but sellers took it back. So let's see what we have here. Hold on. This was the valid break of structure. This was equal high. Equal high. And this was the low that caused this equal high. And all you can see, the price came back to break that low. And breaking that low, you can see that since this was our break of structure, the last low that caused the break of structure, then all we can see that price broke the last higher low that caused this recent higher high. So we can call this a change of character. I hope you guys are following. Yeah, this is a minor trend, don't forget. Trend inside the major trend. So we saw the sellers push the price downwards to this place, then the buyers trying to take over, but there was enough sellers, brought the market downwards. Also, looking at the major trend, you can see there is a clear break of structure to the downside. Yeah. So basically, the information we should be using, we don't need much. The information we should be using is just around here. Yeah. Now I can take out the minor structure label, since we had a major structure break. So, and this is the major structure break here to the downside, break of structure. So currently all we can see is I took a trade around this place last week, but the price was so slow to sell, and due to my rules, I don't hold trade through the weekend, so I had to close. But this was what I was expecting, and I think the market is still yet to do it. Since we had a lower low right here, from this current structure that we can see, this was a higher low. And here was the last seller's reaction that caused the low at that zone. So using my fib, just place my fib from the higher low to the higher high. You should be seeing, I was expecting price at the 61% fib level or the 78% fib level, but price got to the 78% fib level. And I had a sell, but the sell was so slow. had a sell after this inside bar breakout right here. Let me see. Okay, from this evening star, my SL was somewhere here. I'm targeting 1:2, 1:3. So this was it, guys. And this structure is actually still valid. This analysis is very, very valid because the market hasn't taken out this high. Only when this price or when this analysis will be invalidated is when gold opens next week and you see a push to the upside, breaking this higher low. So as long as the price is still below this lower high here, we are likely to see more sales by next week. And also don't forget, from the daily time frame that we saw before, what we was anticipating was more sale. Let me walk you guys straight again one more time. Yeah, okay. I think that was the 4 hours. Okay, no, actually daily. So you can see this major structure from the daily time frame. Major structures are always stronger than the minor structure. Just like you should know your time frames by now. Daily structure should be stronger than 4 hours, and 4 hours stronger than 2 hours, and 2 hours stronger than 1 hour. So we can see this pattern, this fib level retracements, it's one fib level retracement on the daily time frame, showing you that okay, price should likely get to 100% of this pattern. Yeah, if gold should respect my fib level, we should be seeing price follow the way to 4,100 again. But this place should be our first level target, 4,380. I hope you're following me, guys. Our first level target should be 4,380. At least we'll be having 1:4 trade at that zone. So you can just wait next week to get a new entry. And how can we do that? Hold on, let me see. Let me go down to the 2-hour time frame. I think we should wait if price should break down here, because I think these zones are still reacting to gold. If price should break down very well, then give a retest. You should join the sell. Yeah, you should join the sell from there. And I'll be looking out to take this trade next week. If price gives me everything I'll be looking out for. So quickly, let's move to GU. I'll be fast on GU. So what can we see currently? Just have to know that seeing this price action from the base here to this point currently, we can just see that okay, the market has been moving on an uptrend. This is it. The market is currently, major structure shows us that price is on the upper side. Also, it's also showing that we are still on a range bound on the weekly time frame, if you can see this clearly. This was our last break of structure to the upside. So from that break of structure, all we can see is price getting to this place, reversing to this top, coming down again, going back to that same top, Consider there are buyers and sellers reaction from loose resistance and support zone. So let me just mark out my zone from the daily time frame. Hold on. Yeah. And this should be our support zone. So since we are seeing the range, we just have to go down to the 4 hours time frame and analyze what the market is doing currently. GU is very easy to understand, unlike gold. So what can we see from the resistance? We saw sellers taking over. We saw the first drop to the downside. Then we saw a swing high, a retracement high. Then we saw a lower low, a lower high, another lower low. Got a swing high, swing low. Hold on. Swing low, swing high again, swing low. Equal highs. Got an equal high here. Then we got a lower low again before buyers took over. From this resistance right here, sellers were trying to take control of the market, but there was enough buying pressure. Since there was enough buying pressure, the market just had to do a little rejection. Since there is a zone there, sellers just acknowledged the zone, but finally we got a breakout from that zone. So this should be our valid change of character from this bearish trend to the bullish trend that we can see currently. Hold on, I'll mark it out. This was the low that caused our recent change of character. I don't want to mark it all the way from here, so since this is the low, we should just stick to the current price. Mark out this low, and we've got a high. This is our new high. This is our new high. We got a retracement to the 61 fib level thereabout, and I was hoping to take an entry here, but I missed this trade. I talked about it on my channel, so you can still check it out. But after missing that trade, I think the upper week, as we got a clear break of structure to the upside, I waited for 61 fib retracement, then I took this buy to this peak price here. We couldn't get a higher high. The market just reached at that resistance there before selling. Hold on. This was our break of structure to the upside, showing clearly that okay, this is our recent higher low. This being the recent higher low. Then we saw the higher highs. This was a retest fib level retracement. Then I took the buy market range and I left at this peak price here. You can see the selling momentum, very aggressive sales, breaking past our last higher low. So what can we see? We can see this as a clear change of character right here. So this is just as easy as what you have learned before. So we had a break of structure. Price couldn't give us a current break of structure. Then we had a change of character. And see the peak price. Just candle rejections. You can see the rejection. Yeah, and also we don't have to forget about this reaction right here. Sellers brought the market downwards, but we could see buyer reactions from these zones, acknowledging that okay, there is a support zone here, but there was not enough buyers, and what we can see was sellers taking control aggressively, pushing the market to the upside. So likely I might just call this my last lower high, and this my lower low right here. So using my fib 2 for my entry, to get my entry, I just have to place my fib 2 from the lower high to the lower low. So let's see what that gives us. Alright. Currently we can see price reacting from the 61 fib level already. You can see price reacting from the 61 fib level. Yeah, you can see this week shows us that okay, there's a strong zone here and there is sellers pressure, a lot of selling pressure right there. So this is just a good time to go short on gold, on GU, sorry. Go short on GU. At least 1:2, 1:3. Yeah. Or you could also wait for a perfect entry. There's no perfect entry, but at least waiting for a discount price won't be bad. So let me show you how you can do that. Reading the minor structure on the retracement, you can see that there's a high, higher low, but there's no higher high. We can see the wicks. Price was just wicking out, and we can see this current selling momentum right here. But the price still hasn't broken down this minor trend line. So you could just wait. If you see a dip down here, maybe a dip changing character, changing the character of this market, then you could just wait for the retracement and dump the market from the retracement of this trend line. I think that will give you a nice entry and a lower risk. So that's all for today. Gold and GU are the pairs I trade, and I've talked about that already. So this was my trade recap for last week. I had no trade on GU. This was last 2 weeks. I had a loss. I think I posted that trade on my channel. On gold last week, this was my sell. This was my sell analysis, but price was so fucking slow that I had to just leave the chart due to weekend. I don't want any funny move whereby next week, maybe before next week, Trump just says something about peace and everything just go against me. So yeah, that's all for today. So if you watch this video, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment. Let's grow together as a family. I will try to do this always, every week, showing my trade setup and my analysis and the insight on what to look at for the upper week. So that's all. Peace out, guys.